and welcome back to the YCTV studio, where for this month's segment of Tech Tips, we're going to show you how to make a time-lapse video using a GoPro 3 camera like this one that's available for your use at the Camp Humphreys Youth Center. Time-lapse videos are basically a sequence of photos stitched together to make a video that speeds up the real world and allows you to see things that you can't normally see, like the movement of the clouds, the sun, or shadows and light across the globe. To make a time-lapse video, you set up a camera like the GoPro to take pictures in intervals of time. Let's say one photo every second, 2 seconds, or even every hour or just a few times a day. Now you don't have to use GoPro cameras to make time-lapse videos, but they are fairly easy to use and one of the most cost-effective options on the market today. That said, we also use Nikons, Canons, and many other cameras to make time-lapse videos. It just depends on the type of video we're trying to make and whether or not we want more flexibility with our lenses or need to shoot at a specific type of quality. Regardless of the camera that you use, once you've taken your sequence of photos, you can then utilize software like Apple's QuickTime Player to stitch all of the photos together into a single video. To give you an idea of what a time-lapse video looks like, let's head over to the computer where I can show you a construction time-lapse that was photographed over several weeks and then accelerated into a 7.5 minute long video. In this example of a time-lapse video, the producers actually took 70,000 photographs over the span of 45 days, documenting the construction of a home from the ground up. They also used multiple cameras placed in different locations throughout the construction site.
Hey producer, this is actually taking longer than I thought. Could we get some of the cast and crew of YCTV in there to help out with the construction?
Roger, no problem. We'll send them in right now.
All right, thanks. Alright, let's finish this up and take a break.
Alright, the process for setting up your GoPro camera is pretty straightforward. First, you pick it up and hit the front button, which turns it on. You then keep hitting the front button to cycle through the menu settings until you get to the option that it looks like a tool symbol or wrench. Once there, you hit the top button and then cycle through to the time-lapse icon, which is a camera and a clock. You then hit the top button again, where you have your options to determine if you want the camera to shoot a picture every half second, 2 seconds, and so on. For this video, we're going to have it go for one photo every second and hit the top button again. We then hit the front button to go to the exit menu. Hit the top button to exit the settings. And from here, we're going to hit the front button to scroll over to the time-lapse feature. Once we're there, we hit the top button, and the camera will begin automatically taking pictures. Now before we get into actually setting up our time-lapse, there is some time-lapse math involved that we need to calculate. So if you look at this equation and start in the upper, I'm just kidding, it's not this hard. So for this video, we're shooting at 30 frames a second, which means 1 second of video equals 30 frames, or pictures. Now if 1 minute equals 60 seconds, we just simply have to run the math and say that for 30 frames, times 60 seconds, we're going to need 1,800 photos. So basically, to get 1 minute of video from time-lapse, we will have to take 1,800 photographs. Well, now that we know how to set up the camera and we've done the math, let's head over to the youth center and test it out. Alright, back at the youth center now, Kate and Steven will place the GoPro cameras and let them run for about 2 hours. And then we'll bring everything back to the studio where we will stitch it together with Apple's QuickTime Player. To finish our time-lapse video, let's head back to the studio where we'll connect the camera to our YCTV computer. Using Apple's QuickTime 7, we then select the Open Image Sequence option from the File drop-down menu. Locate our photos on the GoPro, select the first one, and click the Open button. For this project, we're going to set the frame rate at 30 frames per second. Once you hit the OK button, the computer will automatically begin creating your time-lapse. And that's about it. So let's check out the finished product. Roll it.